Quinva, a simple tool to track your personal expenses and financial goals. Let's see how it works. So first, let's get started. Let's sign up first. Let's just generate the password and create account. Our account is created and we got a verification mail. We can verify later, but we can also use login without verification. So we can verify later. So now we are logged in. So as you can see, it's a simple interface where we can see the total expenses of this month and the budgets we have set. If you go to expenses, we can go and create expenses. So let's say I had an expense of Tokyo trip. Let's say somewhere around 60,000, and the category could be travel, or we can just select any. You can just type in anything. You can create a custom categories. It was somewhere around May, I guess. So we can just add it around May. And then it's not a recurring expense, it was just a one-time expense. And we can add it to a budget if we create it, so that we can keep track of all the travel budgets, travel expenses together in a single budget. So let's just add the expense. So now we have created the expense, it should be visible now. So we have this over here. We can edit it if you want to make any changes. We can delete it if you want. But importantly is that we can now go to budgets. Budgets actually help you create uh, usually keep track of your expenses of a specific type. So for example, I can create a budget for travel and I can just call it like travel budget, and we can have a target amount of it. So for example, if for this month I want to have my travel budget of like let's say 1,20,000, so we can have it like this. And the deadline, like when this budget expires, so probably I want to be the month end. So I can have it, or I can just have this open-ended budget, like which doesn't expire. So now the budget is created. We can see it over here, how much we have already spent, what's total budget limit, and what's the remaining budget limit. Now if I go over here and update this expense, I'm just gonna update this expense to, so now I can basically change this to either add the budget or not, and that will be changes will be tracked. Other than that, we can manage our profile over here. I can change my name. I can see that my email is still unverified, so we can verify it. Because it has sent an email. For example, if I show you the temporary mail which I received, it's something like over here. So you can just click to verify it. And now if you see, we have added an expense and a budget. So our dashboard seems something like this. So now on the dashboard, we get that on travel, I have spent 60,000, which was the Tokyo trip I added. And it says total expense. And this one is basically calculated at the month, end of the month. Sorry, basically this is not this month, because this expense was actually from May, so that's why it's zero. That's why it's zero. And this one, the budget progress, as the budget is still in progress and it's not completed yet. So once it's completed, basically means when the deadline is exceeded. And this is the budget spending, because as we have nothing in this budget yet, we have no, we haven't added any expenses in this budget, so that's why the budget spending is zero. So other than that, we can change the theme as we need, if whatever you're comfortable with. And we have this developer documentation, the API docs. This is Redoc UI, and that's it.